like it was about 8 terabytes worth, and it all got deleted afterwards. So
What? Anyways, welcome back, everyone, to D&D 5th Edition, our campaign in Hulk Signal. Vin says this is session number 40. Oh my word, everybody. Do make sure you keep caught up by going to bit.ly/LeafJackGaming, our YouTube page, where we have a nice playlist with all 39 episodes. The last one was uploaded today, so let us jump right in. Last time, the group rushed back to Chrysos with the understanding that a Templar attack, was happening. Upon arriving, they found that the city was almost deserted and completely quiet. And by deserted, everyone was hiding in their homes. Eventually, they rounded up the leaders. Wow, I've already forgotten the name of the boy, but yeah, James Fredrickson, and he was talking to another man that lives nearby about what needs to be done, whether or not they need to turn in our group to save their own skin or fight. The group was able to persuade them to go down into the dwarven stronghold to seek shelter with the rest of the village, and that they would take care of any sort of fight that loomed. Uh, they viewed into the field after going to the edge of the plateau. Two commanders leading a large army, the commanders being Duncan and who Thuck pointed out to be Octavia, the headmistress of the academy, the Templar Academy. From there, they intermittently they talked with Calamance, with Vola, and with Agatha to figure out what they should do. When finally they sent a message to Duncan saying, "We will meet you at the entrance to the city," to which they responded, and, well, not really responded, but they accepted the invitation and did meet them there. An alliance was struck after some deliberation between our heroes and the Templars, that they would fight together, for now at least, to defeat the looming threat of the mages. And that is where we left off, as our group, not necessarily wakes their loons, but finally gets a moment to breathe and decide what to do with themselves, as the Templars head to the Lalanda Vale, or Lalanda, next to the Vale, to gather their forces and prepare for the assault. Also, if someone is echoing off of my voice, please check your attenuation/privilege. Thank you.
it,
Yes, also, Joe, you are visible, and we'll jump in right there with our group together in the morning, I believe in the morning.
Not together.
Not together?
no,
The
Kylan's
druid is
on
in
the
flight.
rock.
Right, I had forgotten. Kylan returned to the Arathakal Mountains, got on her rock named Cave, and began her flight back in order to have that available for them. A 3 days travel was the estimate, I believe.
Yes.
And it has been one. Jecht and Far Traveler watched the caves down below during the night to make sure that nothing came out of the Underdark to attack them, as it is the one and only real weakness of the stronghold, or so the king has claimed. Doc, I do believe, just went to bed.
I went to Agatha's hut to tell stories to Vola.
Right, he went to Agatha's hut, and we'll begin after a long rest in the morning with everyone doing what they were doing, I guess. Are you pushing the rock through the night?
No,
No.
resting.
Okay. It goes uneventfully. You just find a nice place to rest. The two of you are fairly safe. Anything that would bother you would see a rock and run, so nothing bothers you. Okay. Let's begin just in the line with Thok. Thok, you wake up. Calaman's nearby, and Vola resting in her own bed. Agatha awake and working on various things with alchemy. What would you like to do?
Hey Agatha,
Yes?
do you have a pouch of silver dust or iron dust?
Silver or iron dust? Let me take a look. And she rummages through all her supplies, which seems to be non-ending even in this tiny hut. Yes.
Okay,
What do you
cool.
need it for?
I have a spell that I would like to cast at some point in case it's needed. It's for protection of my allies, for threats against elementals and fiends and whatnot.
Well, seeing as you plan on fighting mages, it might be useful. She tosses it to you.
Thank you. Is this 100 gold worth?
About 150, but yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. And I pocket it.
I do expect something in return. If it's not that, it's fine. Unless you have the money.
I in fact do not. I have 0 money. I give any money that I have to Jecht. He's pretty much our treasurer.
I see. Well, I'll talk to him, or you can do something for me later. I will
Yes, which,
remember
do
this.
you want to talk to him, by the way?
I mean, it's always nice.
Yeah, he has this glove that he made, and I'm wondering if you know anything about it.
I haven't seen it.
Well,
I've
I'll
had it.
bring him over.
Oh, thank you.
And I would like to head out. Did Far Traveler and Jack tell him where they were going?
I think so.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Urdim and look around.
Okay. So, we'll just get out of the way. Kyla, and you're traveling for the day. That's just kind of what you're going to be doing. Nothing really exciting. So, Thok and Fart Traveler.
You need Jack?
Sorry.
Have.
Jacked and Fart Traveler. My brain is elsewhere. Apparently. You guys spent the night, not necessarily, like, I don't know, you probably were pretty active about your watch. Did you plan on sleeping? I guess the question is, how long do you guys watch the tunnels?
Enough to not be exhausted.
I would give you 2 hours each. And then you'd need to rest for the night. And that's if you do it separately.
Okay.
Nothing really appears. You can guys go back up, go to bed, get some rest. You wake up. It's a fresh day. Is there anything you guys want to do immediately after waking up?
I have my morning rituals performed, so I need to get to the surface.
Okay.
I was going to head to see Agatha.
Okay, so as you two head up kind of together because the three are just heading, you run into Thok at the entrance.
Morning,
Oh, hey.
Thok.
Hey, I was actually looking for you to bring you to Agatha's. She might be able to explain the gold glove that you have and any visions that you saw.
I was thinking the same. You can come with if you'd like, or if you have other things to do.
No, the one person who I care about in this city is Agatha's hut. Actually, no, I care about you guys too.
Aw. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, let's make way.
Hold.
Okay.
Fuck. What business do we have here still? Are we done?
in Carthage.
Yeah, you said you had business you needed to attend to last night. Did we do it
My
all?
sister. My sister. I wanted to talk to her. That was it.
So we're good?
Yeah.
In that case, eject. Please take this bag, and I hand you the bag of holding.
All right. I'll
I-
take. Oh God.
I am going to depart in with the Templars to Londa.
Oh, that's right.
Be careful.
I always am. Thank you, though.
Yeah. We'll meet up with you soon.
Give them a nod and wave them on their way.
So you headed down the plateau into the camp?
Yeah, straight path to the. Well, didn't they say they were gonna? Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, they ended up staying down below. It's an easy climb for you, and with it not being as wet as it had been, and they're pretty well packed up and ready to go by the time you get down there. However, let's get back to Fuck and Ject. I got the names right that time. You guys head back to Agatha's hut. When you return, a small billow of smoke is rising from her stone chimney, and the smell of breakfast is on the inside. Something along the lines of bacon and eggs.
It's been a while since I've had a nice, real warm breakfast.
Just
That's it.
like Grandma used to make, right? Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know that for sure. It's just kind of shrug it off and just open the door.
Okay, on the inside is Agatha, cooking away at the fire, which is making the smoke on her pan, which is quite sizable. It takes up most of the thing, only allowing some air and smoke to rush past, but in such a way that it's almost unnatural how the smoke avoids wrapping back onto the food. And on there, she has eggs and bacon and sausage, and Vola seems to be whipping up a batter for pancakes. Well, Calamance sharpens his blade.
I will clear my throat and say good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Come in. Come in. Agatha says. Breakfast is almost done. The pancakes will be cooking soon, but if you wish, if you're hungry, as I know young men tend to be, the eggs and bacon and sausage are just about done.
I will.
Right.
I will look at her just after she said that with a mouthful of bacon, just kind of like, oh, well, thank you.
Same. Like as soon as she like put something down on the table, Fox could just like grab half of it and be all like.
Young men are astonishing and greedy. Shush, shush, shush.
Like Doc's getting some trouble swallowing it. Like.
There's plenty of food, Thok. You don't have to rush.
Belch.
Nice one, Mark.
Thanks.
Vola, I see you're doing well. How are you feeling?
It's healing. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. You're welcome. Calamance, looking dapper.
And you look at Calamance, and his beard is down to about the square of his chest, and he's got some age to him now. I wouldn't call myself dapper anymore, but I'm doing well, I guess.
Well, I mean, you're
Yeah.
sharpening your blade, which means something.
I'm always ready for a fight. Nothing will stop that. Not even age.
Do you plan on heading to Miyakasela with us?
No. Sadly, that is not the fight for me. I am readying myself to protect these people if need be,
Thank you.
of course. Oh, both of you look like you're doing well. Did you get a good night's sleep, Thok? I know last night was kind of emotional.
Well, yeah, but I think I've slept better than I have in a long time.
It's good to hear. No, come in, come in. Oh, well, you're already in. You had more for me to look at, or something for me to look at, correct?
This dick.
Uh, uh, not not quite, Doc. And I will take out the bag of holding, cover my hand, don't let her see the gauntlet quite yet, and then take out the books. I think we had some on detailing like the abyss and planar magic and Elysium. The eye, I'll show her that one, and then the book for making batteries or focuses.
Okay.
I did show her all those books yesterday, so she should remember them.
All right. So after I pull out all of those, and I said, "Oh yeah, and this," and I'll put my gloved hand on top of all of them.
Oh, yes. Thok had mentioned that. It looks like, and she kind of just walks over and grabs your hand without asking and starts like messing with it a little bit. It looks like, yes, this is material made from the tower. This is quite extravagant and very, very well done. Your your grandfather would be proud.
Yeah, I think he was the one who taught me how to do this in a strange way.
He always had a way of being everywhere, even when he wasn't asked to be.
So I know this may alarm you, and I don't know how you will react, but who is Aurora?
Yes. So, you know me as Agatha. Well, technically, that's not me. I'm Agatha. Yes, that's Agatha. A little bit crazy and starstruck and celestial struck, and it's a whole thing. I was originally the person known as Aurora Silverbane. I had forgotten that.
Well, I guess I had just learned that. Then I will go on to kind of explain the visions that I saw of, Celestial Being coming down and kind of sharing bodies with Aurora, Agatha, melding together, and then the second one of Templars busting in and stabbing the eye. Asking her if... Sorry, good?
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask her if any of that made any sense to her.
Your first vision, I vaguely remember, but it's such a blur. However, I was out like a light, I think, and gone somewhere else by the time the Templars took their toll upon the islands and the eye, apparently. Well, I would take what you saw with as at least partial truth. Do you mention how you saw those visions, especially that last one?
Yes.
Okay. The eye is very strange, strong, potent magic, but it has always been truthful.
So I can take these visions at face value. And with that, What? Do you know what this does? I hold up the gauntlet again, because I'm not quite sure.
Well, my best guess with let me start back a little ways. The Obsidian Tower was created not by us. It was found by us, but by some being of great power to connect with a god, a deity, of magic. It is more than likely, though not ever confirmed, that this god was Bakob, or Bakob, or there's many pronunciations of his name. It's a deitic power, so you never know exactly, unless you ask them. That being said, the Obsidian Tower is made to connect to this god. And if you have this gauntlet made of the tower, and were successfully able to remove it from the tower, which is actually something that no one has been able to do, then it's likely that you might be able to draw on a little bit of extra power from it. It's hard to say. This type of artifact, as it is never been created, or even, well, your grandfather had made a concept of it, conceptualized it, but it was never able to fully grasp it. He had some prototypes, and they were decent, but the material you've made is so fine that I think you've made this artifact pure. Something he was never able to do.
Kind of smirk and feel kind of proud of myself, and listening to her words and seeing, hearing that you can kind of focus extra power. I'll try and focus some of my power into the gauntlet and concentrate on it. See if anything.
Okay. As you focus on it, you can feel the homunculus vibrate as well, as if it's splitting into both. And you feel the energy into the gauntlet. It feels like it's holding your power decently well, but nowhere near as good as the amulet or the homunculus has ever done.
I'll try then actually channeling. We'll try and channel a spell into it. We'll do we'll be safe, and we'll do a counter spell.
Do you want to try casting a spell for the counter?
Well, after. Let me see if this will hold this, and I'll cast the counter spell into the gun.
Okay. You feel it enter the gauntlet, the magical power, but it's taking a lot of energy to hold it. It's definitely taking your concentration.
Okay.
Though it is, as counterspell is a very unique spell in the way that it is casted, this is substantial. This isn't something like, oh, I have to concentrate on my concentration spell still. It's more like I'm able to concentrate in a slightly different way on this reactionary spell.
Okay. I will get up from the table, kind of looking at my hand, and gesture for Thok to come out. Come outside real quick.
Okay. Go outside.
I'll ask him to cast a spell.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and try to cast detect magic. Right.
Okay.
And then when he does that, I'll focus the gauntlet towards Thok.
Okay. So you release the spell as he releases his, and the magic gets countered. And
Anything special?
I don't know.
not that you can tell.
Well, if we ever find your grandfather, then we'll be sure to ask him the meaning of this gauntlet as well.
Yeah.
Also,
Hopefully.
if we ever do any short rests, we can take a detailed look at it.
Sounds good. We'll head back inside, and I will sit down and finish my eggs and bacon.
Okay.
Vola, how those pancakes coming along?
Almost done, brother.
Sweet.
As I give a rough man voice.
I
Okay.
mean, probably a gruff female orc voice is pretty good.
All right. So as you guys are enjoying your breakfast, there was a request from Kylan to go back to her for her traveling. So I will do so. So Kylan, as you travel and soar through the skies, what would you like to do?
As I find a calming moment in the winds and resting myself onto the rock, I'll just lay my head down on her and begin into a bit of a trance, like if I was resting for a minute, while I begin casting a spell. And then I will speak to the rock in Sylvan and say, "You will not be, uh, you will not be hostile to me or my allies." And this druid gained a level and then realized that she had a spell last time that she could have been using this entire time to try to charm the rock for a longer period of time. She's going to get a spell save. I'm attempting to cast, however you pronounce this.
Guess
Gios.
one of those two things.
Gygus.
Okay. If a creature can understand you, it must succeed on a wisdom saving throw and be charmed for your duration. When the creature's charmed for you, takes 2 turns. Okay. Duration 30 days. Okay. Let me pull up the rock and let's see if it succeeds or not.
See what it's cooking.
And that
Save
was
DC is 16.
16, and that's a wisdom save.
It is.
That is not a save.
So now, if she ever is attempting to be hostile to me or my allies, then she'll take 5d10 psychic damage, and she's charmed by me for 30 days.
Okay.
That was it.
That's
then I will-
substantial.
And then I will belaboringly put my compassion toward her and explain my regret for having to change her very nature. And that at another time it will be her own choice.
Flying through the air, you hear this slight over the winds, like, "Gah!" Just kind of in recognition that you're trying to be kind. "Gah!" But at the same time, maybe a little frustrated that you're doing this by magical means and it's not of its choice for now.
One day we will get an empowered awaken spell, and it'll be okay.
Geese or Gias.
It's Giats.
Giats. Gias.
And that was it.
Okay. Very good. Bringing it back around to Far Traveler. The Templars, as you enter their camp, as they're striking all their tents and workstations and all that jazz as before, they're kind of giving you some looks like, who's this guy? But they're not doing anything about it. Some of them recognize you from the time at the lake.
They better not, because we literally killed all of them. Every Templar that was present at that lake got killed.
Not that lake, sorry. The lake with
Oh,
the mage's
okay.
headquarters. I was like, but they were all there. No.
All right. That's different.
A little farther back. Not that lake. All of them died. That's fine. No, I wasn't expecting them to remember you. They might from hell, but whatever.
Dun dun dun. Templars are evil. Inflicted.
Well, wherever they ended up. Anyways, some do recognize you, and some remember you to be almost a hero in their minds, as you did accomplish a great task. Is there anything you want to do while you're there?
No, not really.
Okay, are you seeking any audiences with Duncan or Octavia or anything, or are you just kind of keeping to yourself?
Not necessarily needing to keep to myself either. I mean, if people want to talk to me, I can talk to them.
Okay. With how busy Duncan and Octavia are, they're really not going to be talking with you. However, every once in a while, a Templar will come up to you and talk to you about, like, asking for help for, like, striking stuff down, because you're very easy to notice it when you're not, like, necessarily helping. Like, if you're walking around, they're like, hey, could you come help? And if you would, would you help, I guess, is the question.
Yeah, I'm pretty used to that. That is literally my background feature.
Okay. So yeah, you end up roaming around helping them out, and then as a few hours go by, the camp is ready to go, and you set off to the south. Okay. So as they head south, Thok and Jack, you remain in Chrysos. Do you guys have a timeline for yourselves when you decide to leave? Are you waiting for Kylan or what?
I'll kind of mention Kylan. Say, well, she does. Hopefully, she has that big dumb bird.
Yeah.
So I think we can. I think that we may be. Excuse me. I think that we will be able to follow Far Traveler to London.
Yeah.
Make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble.
Do you think she'll be able to see the armies heading to Londa?
Well, worst case scenario, we'll leave a note. And I'll ask Agatha to hold on to a note saying we went to London.
We probably should leave the additional note explaining the scenario as well.
I agree.
Because all of it, like, if she gets here expecting to fight Templars and discovers that we're actually working with a Templar, she might be kind of confused.
I suppose. You can write, can't you, Thok?
I mean, I can, but I'm not great at it. Usually, if it's a formal letter, it'll take me about 3 or so hours to write a paragraph or two. Otherwise, there's a lot of misspellings.
Calamance
Yes.
raises. I will be here. I can just tell her.
Perfect. Well, thank you.
We
No
should, as we are going, we should also bring Girk along as well.
I suppose you are right.
Yeah. Calamance, do you have any recommendations for fighting against Miyakasel?
Don't, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, they need to be brought down.
Yes. You have your amulets. My understanding
Yes.
is that they are empowered.
Yes,
That's-
which, by the way, Jack, when we
Yes.
do meet up with Kylan and Far Traveler, make sure you cast Counterspell on their amulets to have their spell stored for later.
I suppose I will try.
Okay. Calamance, do you have anything that would help me along this journey? Do you have some kind of thing, gift, that might help in fighting mages and or Templars alike?
You know what, Thok? I do. He takes his great sword. He puts it in front of him. Traja.
And I take out my great sword and I give it up. Then I take his. What is it? What does it look like?
His blade is a fairly standard. Like, it has the hilt for 2 hands, and then the guard wraps around to the blade, and the blade is about a foot thick, and it goes up to the very tip.
Jesus Christ.
It is a ginormous sword. Holding it for the first time, you're like, oh my god, this is heavy.
Is it like the Buster Sword?
Similar, except it's not near as And that's huge. It's like 2 feet thick, so it's about half that, and it's double-sided.
Okay.
So it doesn't look super extravagant, but it feels right in your hands. And after a little bit of flexing and moving it around, you're able to get good control of it.
Do I need to attune to it?
Um, you do feel a presence in it, something strong that you might be able to attune to.
Okay. I will save that. Are we in a hurry, or should I attune to it now?
Well, I suppose we could both take a look at it. Well, he can attune to that, and I will study the.
I would like to spend the next hour or two identifying it, and also asking Calamance questions as to what it does and how to use it, as well as attuning to it.
And I will help Agatha with household chores and keep trying to prod her for more questions about the eye.
You
Okay.
want to identify your thing?
Yeah.
That's a little too powerful to identify the glove. It's so
Okay.
unique. For the sword, well, I used it long ago to bring down the islands. As Jack said earlier, I stabbed the eye. It was with this blade.
I
In doing so,
take it and
it absorbed some of its powers in a very interesting way, making it sharper and easier to wield once you have control of it. Also, with all of my practice and energies, it got fused into this blade, making it the ideal weapon for slaying mages.
Does it have a name?
I never named it. Perhaps under you, it will gain a name, but a named blade is a cursed blade, for it shall always be known as your blade, and any other blade that you use will never be the same. That
I'll
being
give it some
said,
thought.
if you find a use for it and a name for it, perhaps it deserves one by now.
I see. I'll think about it. And I would like to spend the next hour identifying it.
Okay. We'll bring that later. So, yeah. For Ject, you kind of talking with Agatha about the eye and helping her clean out her place. As you do help around, Volo's helping too, actually. With the two of you helping, you're actually organizing her supplies. And like I said earlier, that it seems like an endless amount of supplies. And as you go, you're realizing that when you pick something up, something's replacing it on the ground. And when you find a place for it, sometimes it shifts and disappears. And then you can put something else there. And it keeps going. Like an endless supply closet. Any specific questions you have for Agatha about the eye? Or just kind of in general stuff?
Do we know why it's here? What the purpose of it is?
The tower with the eye do not exist natively on this plane. They have a connection to the point that I'm sure that you went to in the Arathokov Mountains, where that is where we had it and connected to it and raised it. Though at the time it was on a floating island. It was being used as the main power. It was very high up. I don't know if you understand the islands and what they were made for, what they were was that the land was not inhabitable. It's barely inhabitable as it is, as you know, going into the wilds is very daunting for many people and dangerous for everyone. It was worse. So we built up. We built islands that we could use, and the more we built, the higher the top island got, and that became a hierarchy of sorts, where the top island was the highest, and as you went down, so did your class, per se. Our island was the second. It was used to power all of the islands, with the obsidian tower as the main focus point. So, that is a history lesson. The connection to the eye is a weird one, as we drew upon it, and we're not really sure where it came from. The person who summoned it is long gone. Well, not long gone, he's floating around on the only island left. I'm not sure if I answered your question. I'm sorry, with so much in my mind, it's hard for me to pinpoint sometimes, and I get lost.
No, it's understandable. Who summoned it?
The Archmage.
All right. Well, I can't think of anything else at
Sorry,
this
Grand
time.
Mage. Words.
Gotcha. Same guy. And then I'll talk to her about general things and continue cleaning.
Okay. As you talk to her, she ends up kind of going over her life. She grew up with her brother. A pretty well. The situation at the time was not well off. The world was on fire for all intents and purposes, but they were able to find some ancient tomes and learn quite a bit about magic. From there, with the elf, Galandin, the Grand Mage, they found the Obsidian Tower, and with that, they were able to create the islands by pulling energy from and land from the elemental plane of Earth. Other than that, there's not much. She kind of goes over her relationship with her friends, especially your grandfather, saying that they're very close and together, confirming her connection to you. Together had a child, a young girl that they love dearly, though they did not necessarily love each other for a while. It took a long time for them to get along, but eventually they did, and they found themselves falling for each other. And as always, her brother was against it at first, trying to be protective, but things come to pass, and even he accepted it in the end.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you for telling.
I think you
Grandma?
have the right to know. Yes, technically. I know I may look a little even younger than you, but that's not who I am anymore. This is a face of the past that never changed. And Agatha is sorry for her approaches last time. Her advances.
Looking back, that was kind of strange.
You do have a lot of your grandfather in you, and it shines brightly.
Thanks.
I say that hopefully in an endearing way, not in a creepy way.
Okay.
I am still learning to be me again. I apologize.
That's more than normal.
All right. So, the next few hours really go uneventfully for you guys as you kind of just do your daily thing, getting ready to go. Is there a point which you like to leave, or are you waiting? I'm not sure if I got a straight answer on that.
We'll try and leave, I think, as soon as possible, but first we'd like to, Girk, where's he at? Do we remember?
He was left down below.
Okay.
Gotta go find him.
We'll go talk to him and see what he needs, if he needs any supplies as far as being able to teleport us around and see if he needs anything. That way he won't be caught on his back foot if we need him.
Okay. So you go down below to Erdam, where you find Girk, surrounded by what looks like a plethora of arcane supplies. It's writing in his a ledger, which he always seems to have one. Oh,
Hey, Gert.
you're here. What
Hey,
now?
how's it going?
Oh, I'm doing actually pretty well for once.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Is there anything that we can get you?
The dwarves have been very generous, and I have everything I need.
If you were to do some more teleportation for us, is there anything that you need for those spells?
What are we talking about? Like, how many? Where?
Well, I don't think we have to go back to the Arathicub Mountains anytime soon.
That's
Maybe
good,
as
because
far
it's
as
very difficult to get there.
maybe as far as Olanda or Istinvarosa.
Well, that should be pretty easy. I have the supplies for that, but how many? 2, 3 of us?
Well, I don't think we're going to do it right now. We just need to make sure we have
Basic size,
two
I'm
or
ready to go.
300. 2 or 300. 1 million. All right. Well, I'll thank Girk and turn to Thok and ask if that's all we need here.
I'm not with you.
You didn't
Oh,
go?
you're not? Okay. Oh, he didn't go?
I
I'm
thought
still
you went with
sorting.
him.
Source. I will head back to Thok and then ask him if he thinks we're all good.
Yeah. I've decided to name the sword.
What have you named?
Gaetior. Means the blinder
In what?
in the same language of the Templars. Nox Signo Vincis.
That name
Gaetior.
sounds familiar. Um, well, I'm sure it will be adequate. We'll see if that is a fitting name for it.
Well, I mean, given what it's done.
Ah, true. It could have been the Gouger as well. Sorry.
That doesn't have a Latin translation.
Perfect. All right. I'll ask you for good to go.
I say, yeah. Let me say bye.
I will say bye as well.
First I give a hug to Calamance. Say thank you for everything.
Being the man he is, he is taken aback at first and gives you a warm hug back. It was my pleasure, my boy.
And Thok is going to approach Vola, kind of smile. Over the past day, he's been pretty content, and he says, I wish that I didn't have to go. I wish I could stay here.
I'll be safe.
I
And
know
we
you
will see each other again soon.
Yes, we will. And this time, there'll be one major threat gone from the world, and after that, it's just one more, and then we can start a new one, and you can be one of its great leaders.
For now, I just want to be healthy.
I know. Take care of yourself.
You better come back.
I will. He gives Doc hugs her.
Hugs you back.
I'll be
A
back.
tight half-work hug, just squeezing as hard as she can. Though
Doc's gonna squeeze like probably a little too hard.
she doesn't
like,
even
but-
complain.
Oh,
She's definitely not squeezing as hard as she used to when you were kids, comparatively. But it's sturdy. Something she
Right.
hasn't been in a long time.
all right. Well, glad to see you're getting some of your strength back.
It's coming back slowly but surely. Agatha is really helping me out.
I'm sure that we can talk all day, but I should. All right, love
Yeah.
you.
Love you, truth. Brother.
Bye, sister.
Next time, I'm going with you.
Good. We could use another capable member.
She gives you a smile, and as it almost seems like you're lingering with your words, almost pushes you out the door to get you going.
Sorry.
All right, let's go. And I'm going to cast Conjure Steed. Find Steed.
It's like a 10-minute cast, isn't it?
It is 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay. 10 minutes passed, and your elk appears. Ready
Right.
to go.
Hop on. Let's pick up Girk.
Sounds good. Hop up.
Okay. You guys hop onto your steed, gather Girk up, and head off towards Alanda, I assume.
Yes.
Okay. With the fact that you're a single steed, even if it is a little burdened, not all that much. I mean, it's the two of you and a really small person. It doesn't take long for you to actually catch up with the bulk of with the bulk of the Templar army. Well, the Templar army it is itself.
I would like to try to find Far Traveler in the midst of this place.
Well, it's very easy to do so. You do find him. It doesn't take all that long. Even if it is a large group, he stands out. Excuse me.
Far Traveler.
Hello.
You've been harassed at all?
No, everyone's very thankful for what we did to disrupt the mage's rituals.
They're probably not very appreciative of everything we did after that. And I'm going to take off my helmet. I don't think intimidation is very good at this time. Revealing my not scarred face.
Dun dun dun. I don't care.
Okay.
Jack, if you want, we can. I can try to get some information out of my father regarding the location of your grandfather.
You're welcome to try.
I mean, if you don't want me to do it, then I won't try. But, you know, if you want me to, then I will.
Yeah. Yes, I suppose.
Okay. Hey, Far Traveler, and can you guys come with me just to kind of get my back, you know?
We could, but is having Jacked there really a good idea?
He was there for the other interaction, wasn't he?
That wasn't
Was-
in the middle of a Templar camp.
I
Well,
was about 60 feet away and on top of a building.
I'd rather have him be with us than by himself among Templar company.
I didn't say by himself.
Oh,
It was a we could situation, but
oh. So, Doc kind of like stills his resolve. He's like, "All right, I'll try to talk to him myself."
don't forget, you're a commander now. He's on
You-
even footing with you.
Yeah, yep, definitely.
Okay.
I'm no bitch.
So Thok is approaching alone? Correct?
I guess so.
Alright, so Thok, you find Duncan leading the pact, as is his position. That's how he always liked to be in the front and in charge of everything. With them is Octavia. Pact as in the army. Pact. Whatever. Alright, so you approach him. Do you want to announce yourself, or you just walk up behind him and start talking?
I'll announce myself. I'm on my elk. Without my helmet on, just kind of in my pack somewhere. I'm like, permission to walk alongside, Commander.
Well, Commander, I think that's your right.
I
See
nod
you've
and
caught up.
I nod and make my way in between Octavia and Duncan.
Octavia kind of shuffles her horse aside and gives her an angrily glare, but just keeps on riding forward.
Good to see
Duncan
you, Octavia.
eyes your steed, your elk, for a moment. I hope you've learned something since the academy.
Yes.
Good. Good to see you
How's the
two.
academy doing so far?
Just fine.
Good.
Though a little slow with me not there, I'm sure, but we have professors and teachers and sergeants and such.
Doc's like kind of uncomfortable being around like someone who was the like principal essentially of his school, so he's not really sure how to act.
She's kind of being. She looks a little off-putted herself. She's kind of like, yeah, whatever.
I'm pretty sure Thok has a little grip on the English language as well. So, as I'm not aware, do commanders address each other as commander or by their names?
Commander is fine.
See, if I said commander, then I'm pretty sure both you and Octavia would look at me.
They call me Duncan.
Duncan. So,
Yes,
what IDs do you have of penetrating Mia Cassell?
My understanding was that the plans were on your end.
Well, yes, we will get there. We have ways of getting there, but what are your plans for the army once we get there?
We'll make our usual phalanx to protect the bulk of the army while pushing forward. If we can, we'll send individual scouts to the heart of Mia Cassell. There, well, we will take down the main power source and get out as best as possible.
Have you thought of attempting it from a different approach?
Sounds like you do have a plan.
I don't have
Enlighten
a
me.
plan, I have ideas.
Fine. Sounds like you have ideas. Entertain me.
Well, you know that mission on the lake that you sent me to?
Yes.
The way we infiltrated that area is that the mages in our group, or they were disguised as mages, had us, quote unquote, as prisoner. So, we were led through their stronghold, found out their weaknesses, and exploited every single one. So, my question is, do you think we can get some spies to scout out the area and infiltrate their ranks, figure out where their weak points are?
Well, not a bad plan. But my understanding is your entry is means of teleportation, correct?
Yes.
If I know anything about mages, is that they're always watching for magic not their own, even if it is around us. I think they would detect any sort of teleportation in, even if it is a small amount.
Well, luckily for us, we have one of those mages with us as prisoner. So, what we could do is have him lead a procession of imprisoned Templars who actually have him as prisoner. He gives them a tour, and we can also interrogate him on the weaknesses of Mikasel. And we can bring the island down that way.
I'm worried to trust a mage to do anything correctly.
Well, if you have Templars around him, then he'll do what you say. He's been very complacent with us. He's afraid.
But he was surrounded by his folk. He's not going to be easy to control.
Well, if his prisoners keep him under control, then there won't be any issue.
Who do you suggest go with him? This isn't
I
a
was
job
wondering-
that any sort of ordinary soldier could perform.
Are you saying that your army is constructed of only ordinary soldiers?
I'm saying this is a job of high enough priority and concern that we want the best.
I see. Are you calling me and my men the best? And women?
No. I'm saying that I would go.
I see. Well, I think you're a little bit too recognizable, aren't you?
Maybe. But so are you. You were once a prisoner.
I was once a prisoner, but I'm not one of the people who brought down their islands.
Very true. Disguises go a long way.
Yes.
I am adamant that I go. Unless you can otherwise change my mind.
Well, I will consult my team on that before I make any decisions.
Where's Lee when you need her?
Infiltration expert. No. If, in fact, we do send a scouting party with our only means of transportation up to Mirkasal, how do we expect to send the rest of us?
Well, that's another thing we can talk about. If we are up there, we could possibly take more mages as prisoner to open more portals.
So your thought is to take prisoners and return.
Possibly.
It's
What
not
did
a
you
bad
do when
goal.
you brought the islands down?
We fought our way to the top, and we destroyed their source of power.
That wasn't very detailed. I feel like it was more complicated than that.
This is true. The logistics of getting between islands is complicated and very
What did you
old.
do?
Every island had its own teleportation circle already inlaid into it. You had to either control it or pay to go up. And you had to actually have a certain status. We had to infiltrate as someone with status to be allowed in. Then we had to teleport up using the correct amount of funds. And then we did that from island to island for 5 years. We do not have 5 years.
Well, also this time you only have one island.
That's true. But we also don't have the connection between islands that we used.
We have a teleportation circle. And we can work out a plan along the way.
I don't like the idea of winging it when this is so crucial. Failure here
I
could
never
be the
said
end.
winging it. We can scout out bit by bit, like I said earlier.
I'm not comfortable sending your mage up there. If he gets away, there's no way back, and there's no way back on, and this is our one connection that we have to actually get onto Miyagazelle.
Then what do you suggest teleporting every single person? I'm not sure if he's capable of that.
That was your end of the bargain. My end is to infiltrate, surprise, control, and destroy.
Hmm.
That is
Well.
one thing they are not expecting is a group of Templar this large to suddenly arrive on their doorstep.
Hmm. Well, we'll think of something. As for the time, we have a few days before we get to Landa, and I have a few things I wish to discuss with you, in addition to that.
What else is on your mind?
The tattoos that were put on Vola.
Yes.
How are they made?
They're using a slightly altered version of the alchemicals in that symbol there, pointing to your Templar amulet. And then that is injected as a tattoo under the skin, connecting to various points in the body. These points are known to control the flow of magic.
You mentioned that was done to one other person.
Yes.
Who was it?
Successfully. A man named Firebrand.
Where is he now?
Gone.
Dead?
No. Taken. I'll tell you this because I know who you have with you. And I know why you ask. When we finally took him back, looking for his grandchild, we tortured him, as we do with mages, to learn more. As he got away from us once, we wanted him again. But as the days went by, something happened. A dark energy surrounded him and pulled him as if through the table into another place. Sadly, there's nothing we could do. It was sudden and nothing we had seen before. Though we do believe it's planar. And from now on, we don't have planar connections in any room we work in.
So, what you're saying is that the tattoos are not 100% effective.
They weren't. They are now.
Then why would you... What do you mean they are now?
They improved. And they worked. Well, from what we can tell. It did take quite a while, we think, for Atticus to gain any form of connection back to his power.
Atticus?
Oh, excuse me, that was his first name.
I see. Well, I'm going to now convene with my group now. Thank you for speaking, Duncan.
We will talk more. Doc.
And I would like to kind of fall behind.
Did you just give deuces to your father, the commander?
Deuces?
You're like,
No, it's like it's the thing I've been doing.
okay. I was like, yeah, serious conversation. Deuces.
Deuce.
Deuces. All right. You do make it back to your group.
Yeah.
What do you wish to say and talk about?
So, we went over some battle strategies for what to do when we do get to Londa, and for Mia Cassell. But I would like to check first. Your grandfather, after you left, he is not dead. First off, he, however, in their captivity was a portal opened in the room, some sort of planar portal, and he was swallowed into darkness.
Would I have any idea of what that was based on Thok's description?
You can try an Arcana check. Thought you can as well.
Actually, I would like to assist.
Okay. Far Traveler, were
18.
you wanting to make one? Okay.
You can assist Far Traveler. I'll have my homunculus assist me.
Okay.
Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I need to... Too many things going on.
So many things.
1816. When you're ready.
I just have something pulled up and it's pulling away from what I can do. Here we go. Alright, now I can actually do stuff. Okay. 1860. Oh, he's... Okay. So, it sounds like some powerful being grabbed him and pulled him into a different plane of existence. Dark energies, it's hard to pinpoint what it could be. Recently you have dealt with things like the Shadowfell, but it could be other more demonic planes, but it's hard to say without seeing it firsthand.
Ah,
Ooh.
another handsome human.
That's Granddaddy.
We know your grandmammy and your granddaddy.
His parents were both.
If Kylan gets a hold of your granddaddy, you're gonna have an uncle.
What the fuck?
Or an aunt.
I'm not even gonna continue with that train of thought.
If they are attractive, competent, and human, Kylan's interested.
Okay.
So, about Duncan.
I mean, okay.
Keep that damn elf away from your daddy.
What?
He does like. Never mind.
Veracity. We'll just say strange. Like
I don't know what my Father's Day, so I don't give a shit.
Doctor Strange to you. Okay, getting back on track. So, yes, you're not totally sure. It's hard to say, but dark energies might imply things like the Shadowfell, or like maybe it's on the Abyss or the Nine Hells or that Purgatory one. Who knows?
all we know is that it just doesn't sound
Doesn't sound what?
fun.
No, I wouldn't say it is. But on that note, we do need to have some matters to discuss as to what we're gonna do and what's our plan of attack for the city. Gurk,
Yes?
do you think you can teleport every single person to Mikasel in this camp, along with the core as well?
I would need. About 500 goals more worth of supplies.
The better question is not could you. The better question is, are you willing to?
No, but my will hasn't been followed in a while.
I'm gonna need, like, you would seriously need to explain this to me because everything you've asked for, I've given you.
I don't want to send people to kill my people.
I already explained to you that I am going to go kill Glyndon Ophandris if you like it or not, because he's a soul-devouring monster. Wasn't that clear?
Right? But innocents will die as so many people.
Okay.
That's what we have the drums for.
What?
Drums?
Yeah,
How
so
does-
they can hide in their houses.
I mean, I guess.
If they're innocent, they likely won't attack people, right?
Yeah.
If they're trying to defend themselves, they will.
Then we just get the Templars to not kill innocent people. And as Thok is saying that, he just kind of stops and goes, "Oh, that might be kind of harder than I thought. I will threaten them with my blade if they do kill innocent people."
Oh, you Templar, you! I'll kill you with this mage slaying blade!
I'm not really convinced, but I also feel like I don't have a choice.
I don't have a rebuttal for that.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Just get me my supplies.
Okay. What supplies do you need?
It's a lot. And he starts to write in his ledger. Feverishly just going through. Tears off a whole sheet of paper, hands it to you, and it's completely full of different things that he needs. Nothing
Do I
too
recognize
out
any
of
of
the
them?
nothing's too out of the ordinary, but it's a lot of everything.
Okay.
That being said, you could probably find this stuff. It might take a little bit of time with the
Do
amount.
you think these resources would be available along the way?
Not all of them. A lot of it is inks or materials for inks. That's what I'm saying. And I need a lot of high quality ink. So I guess if you got just ink, that'd be fine. But in this case, with there not being, a huge supply, like at me and Cassell, then I'm gonna have to make it myself.
Okay. Can you jot down? Can you jot down? Are these the ingredients that for the inks that you jotted down?
Yes.
I see. Okay,
Did you
I
go
will.
dumb, or are you just trying to patronize me?
Don't be
first
asking those questions. I'm not fucking stupid, okay?
No,
I feel
your
like
voice.
so.
It was your voice. I'm sorry. I thought you were making fun of me.
I feel like I was kind of possessed by some other weird entity there for a second.
Oh no, the illiterate demons.
So I will bring this list to Duncan and see if he can procure it. And I say, I'll be back.
Okay, so you go back to Duncan. I didn't expect to see you so soon, but
Funkin, here's a list of supplies that are needed for the teleportation circle to work.
take some. This is a lot of supplies.
We have a lot
Yeah.
of men.
I think we can scrounge most of this. We did raid the mage headquarters that one time, and in doing so, we got quite a bit of their supplies, and we thought it might be useful for us, alchemically. So, some of it might not be as easy, but I think we can do what is needed. Is that good enough for you, Commander? I'm guessing his face freezing means that he's gone.
Shit. I can
We're
still
just-
hear you guys.
Just
Okay, we
poking.
can hear you. Did you hear what I said last?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Yeah, that was a quick little disconnect.
no
All
problem.
right. What was the last thing you said?
I've already forgotten.
It's really simple.
I was asking what would be the harder materials to get.
Okay, I missed that in general. It's just the ivories mostly.
The ivories.
Yes, high quality ivory is not easy to come by, but these planes do have some beast.
Then send your men on a hunt.
That is the plan. We might be allies, but don't treat me like a fool, Thok.
I'm not. Don't think you're a fool.
Then you need to learn to enunciate differently.
I'm not stupid. You yourself promoted me to commander, so treat me like one. I'll treat you like one.
Well,
Oh snap!
we'll procure the materials. Just make sure your mage is ready for the time.
I will. And I start making my way back again.
Okay.
Do you tell us any of that?
Yes, I relay all that information.
Do I remember if there was any ivory already available at Londa?
Do a history check.
Do a history check?
Yeah, to remember.
Okay.
You're not sure. They did do a lot of hunting, but that type of animal doesn't really exist in the forest. Maybe some in the plains. It's possible.
Well, it wasn't like, as far as I understood, it was a trade camp from all over the place. It was more of a question of, DM, did you populate the camp with stuff that you didn't tell us about?
They do a lot of trading, so it's possible, but the use of ivory for them might not be all that extensive. So they might not have a lot. It's hard to say.
Dungan's men are on it. And oh,
It was just you.
sweet. Thank you.
Mhm.
So Duncan's men should have it handled, and if they aren't, then I'm sure we can ourselves procure the ivory. And if there's not some in the camp, then we can certainly search for some. And Girk, will you be ready for it?
As ready as I could ever be. Yeah, I guess so.
And remember, if you teleport us to the wrong place, then you're surrounded by 300 Templars. So, be careful.
I'm not so dumb as to make that mistake.
Good. Alright. And from there on, Doc's just gonna walk along.
Okay. Anyone wanting to do anything while in the camp, or you're just kind of keeping to yourselves, helping when asked, type of thing? Okay. So
now that Jack's here, it's more going to be keeping to making sure the Templars don't harass him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Girk.
Just staying wary.
Yep.
they seem to have orders of some sort that is keeping them just. Most of them just ignore you guys. You'll get a couple of glances here and there as that group that's allied with the Templars, but other than that, everyone's kind of trying to ignore you at this point. The day goes by mostly uneventfully, and the camp makes a quick marching. The army makes a quick marching camp where it's just quick tense up, get your bedrolls out, get the food started, eat, sleep, done and done, type of thing. Preparing for the march in the morning type activities. Unless you guys have anything you want to do before the night goes, go once, twice.
I will imbue the others in the party's amulets with a counterspell.
Okay.
Before the night.
That includes Far Traveler.
Far Traveler. And Kylan isn't there, I think.
Right. That is correct. So other than that, the night goes on eventfully. You hear some people, they're up for a little while before going to bed, eating their food, and just kind of talking about what's going on. You hear some chatter about, oh, we're going to finally get to that Dawn Mage base and take them out, and some excitement in that. So the morale is actually pretty good this evening. Alright, other than that, the night passes uneventfully for you guys as well as Kylan. And the third day begins. As you continue your march after doing your morning rituals and for Kylan, continuing your flight. What's your passive perception, Kylan?
Very high. 18.
Okay, as you fly, it's probably mid-morning. You've already made it to the plains. You notice the army marching.
Hey, guys, I'm gonna play this as Kylan without any meta knowledge.
As you should.
Yeah, this is gonna be great. Because, the initial plan, as I said, Kylan had said before she left, was that maybe a rock could drop a tree on the Templars. So, do I see the party at all amongst the Templars?
Are you looking for them?
If I see the Templars, I'm going to look specifically for them to see if they were captured or what happened.
Do a perception check. Okay. As you fly by, you see this, and you kind of getting scouting out a little bit. You do see them on their mounts marching along, whatever. Free.
Then I will cautiously fly down. If it does appear apparent to me that they are free, then yeah, I will cautiously fly down.
Are you flying down directly onto them or off to the side?
No, I'll come in front of them with their marching order, coming down toward Duncan.
Okay. As you
not-
do we notice this?
yes, it's not hard to miss the bird.
Okay.
Not like flying down aggressively in a dive or anything like that, just getting myself moved downward toward them. This is how Kylan would do it. Fuck me.
I'm gonna make my way to the front of the order and say, Duncan, that bird up there, that's the bird of our druid. So don't there's no need to be hostile with it. It will not be hostile with us.
All right, if you say so. And he gestures to one of his esquires. Inform the camp that the bird is not to be harmed. It's one of ours. And he rides off and starts a chain of esquires. Yeah, everyone has squires. Is esquire the right word?
Esquire is not the word. A squire.
A squire. Yeah, whatever. So yes, his squire goes off and starts like a communication chain to the whole camp or the whole army, and they
So before
don't really relax.
Before he sends his squire, Fox gonna say, "Hold on there, boy. Before you go, what's your name?"
Jim.
Jim. Nice to meet you, Jim.
Yes, sir. Good to meet you too.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you, sir, Commander.
Please call me Thok.
Commander Thok.
Yep,
Is that
good.
all?
Go ahead. No, I'm just wanting to know that you're doing good.
Thank you, sir. And he then rushes off. Okay. The camp remains a little uneasy, but does not become aggressive as Kaelin floats down to the front.
Remaining on the rock, I'm going to shout out, Thok, Jacked, Hard Traveler.
Do I hear her?
Yeah.
Yo.
Mind going and talking to me?
Yeah, sure. I understand there's some stuff to catch up on, and I'm gonna yell into the crowd. Oh, Traveler! Jack! Come here.
Okay.
Okay. We'll say you guys can hear it just for the ease of this. So everyone is together.
Shouted it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remain mounted on the rock. What? So the Templars, and what happened?
They were going to destroy the city. We made a deal. For them not to destroy the city of Chrysos.
Uh-huh. And what did we give up for that?
Nothing.
Okay. And why are we with
Well, our goal is to bring down Mia Cassell and destroy and kill Gillian of Andrus and destroy the Soul Devourer, Soul Keeper, and destroy the Throw of the Mages. And Thok's gonna say this very hushed and say, "We'll deal with the Templars once the mages are dealt with."
And retrieve Ellie.
Yes.
that too? Okay. How are we doing that?
Thok looks to Girk.
I guess that's my job.
I did promise Lee we were gonna limit casualties. We're gonna bring an army and raid.
What else
I
do
don't
you
like it either.
I'm with oddly enough, I'm with Girk on that. I'm a good mission. Lee really was upset at me when I had mentioned there was going to be collateral damage, and so are we gonna be respecting that, or
I will tell my dad to command the armies not to harm innocents.
okay?
He would not be working with us if he didn't know that we were a threat to him.
Okay. I am with you guys in this plan. Can we get the rock there this time? Because
Looks
Girk
like
said
it.
he was having trouble with it from the Rathakab Mountains.
I need more supplies anyway. It would help with the movement of the army. Fine. Just you write down some more. This extra. As you another piece of paper, it's not all that much compared to the previous. About 50 gold's worth of materials.
Nothing much. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that answers your question.
There you go. Yes. That does. Any questions for me? You sound.
I said what?
It's like a return statement. I don't know. That answers your question. Now here's mine. I don't know.
No, I mean,
I'm a little
no.
suspicious of you right now. I don't know if you can tell.
I mean, I'm sorry that you feel that way. Why do you have questions for me?
No, I think I understand. I'm just worried.
Yeah. Well, we will do what we can. We always do.
We always do.
Okay.
And where are we going now?
Londa. We're meeting the core there.
Okay. I will fly above.
Good.
Okay.
Oh, hey guys. The rock's not going to be a problem anymore. She's nice now to all of us who are allies of me. Although, looking at the Templar army, there's going to be some negotiating done with her about that.
Well, I'm sure that I don't think any single Templar would want to get, just killed by a bird just before he's about to go to Mia Cassell. They've probably been looking forward to this for a long time.
In Sylphan, I'm going to say to the rock, they're allies until they do something bad, and then you eat them.
Approving. Squawk.
Something bad. Okay.
Rather ambiguous, but yeah. Okay. Anything else you guys wish to discuss?
Nothing from me.
All right.
Okay. I'll go talk to Duncan.
And I will take to the skies and keep a lookout.
Look. Welcome back to the front.
So, well, a few things. There's just a little bit more supplies that need to be gathered. Because you see that big bird?
Yes.
That big bird is going to be killing our enemies.
I like the
So-
sound of that. And this is simple
those-
enough.
And those materials are used to teleport that bird to Mikasa.
Then they will be gotten with everything else.
One more thing.
Yes.
We need you to find who our enemies are.
The mages.
The mages, yes, but if anyone surrenders, and if there are any innocent people hiding in their houses, I don't want harm to come to them.
We are protecting innocence. That is our one and only goal. The mages are the threat.
You
So
tell
if
that to the people
they...
of Chrysos.
That was not my intention for that to happen. The firebrands were dealt with by your hand.
Yes.
I did
So,
say that it was not us.
if there are any Templars who wish to harm innocents, then they would suffer the same fate. By
The
you
Rock
or
has
I.
specific orders to eat.
And the Rock has specific orders to eat people who are innocents.
That's a bad idea.
I think that is counterproductive to your point. He
I think
froze
he's
again.
frozen. What a perfect time to freeze.
Give him a moment to reload in, I guess. No.
Okay. Can
You're
you hear me
back.
now? Okay.
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yes. No, not yet.
Okay, I'll refresh.
I see you.
So what I meant to say was the Rock is told to attack those who attack innocents.
It is fair.
We want to minimize collateral damage as much as we can. If we are to rebuild a new world without the threat of Andrus, then we need to work together.
If they lay down their arms and accept our manacles, as we have to be careful ourselves, then they will be fine. I promise. But
Promise.
if they attack, there's not much we can do but defend ourselves.
Well then, it should be made very clear that the option of mercy is there.
We will have someone letting them know that surrender will bring them life, but to fight back will be death. Is that acceptable for you?
Yes.
Good. Now, I believe we will be arriving shortly.
As you will.
Until later, Thok.
And I leave.
Okay.
And I inform the group that so innocents will not be harmed. Anyone who is willing to surrender for now will be spared. Anyone who attacks is a different story. So, whatever that means is whatever that means.
Okay. As you guys continue your march, in over the horizon you see the smokestacks and the forest approaching as you make it to Lalanda.
I would like to, with the rest of the party, go to the entrance and see. Ah, God, what's her name?
Iluna.
Eluna.
Duncan has his people stop and start making camp about 300 feet away, just to give some distance. And as you guys begin to approach, him and Octavia both join you. Is everyone approaching?
Yes.
Sure.
I will be on the rock, but she'll be moving with her ground speed.
What is her ground speed? Like 10?
No, it's actually pretty fast. I actually don't know it off the top of my head though.
Okay. That's. I can look it up real quick. It is 20. It's not terrible.
It's like, huh, she could move.
Okay. So you're hopping along with them. And as you guys approach, Aluna is at the front gate, kind of quizzically looking on. Hello
I'd
there.
like to gesture like, with the hand, like it's okay.
What
That-
brings you
so-
all back to Landa?
Well, this is more of a rendezvous point for the Corps and the Templars. No harm will come to the camp.
I hope not.
And I look at Duncan.
No harm from us will come to you. We will keep our distance. Well,
Can
better
we
than
trade
if-
amongst the town still though?
well, yes,
This
feel
is a
free.
question- This question to Duncan.
Oh, I mean, if they have the supplies we need, we might need it anyways, but that was the plan, was to send small parties to trade and make peace. Well, we are always accepting trades, so yes, just don't send the whole army at once. We don't have that much space. Now, come. You must be tired. I will pour you some tea in my hut.
Thank you.
She leads you to her nice cabin hut thing and begins making tea for everyone.
And when Kylan dismounts the rock, she's gonna say, "Keep an eye on them," and point to the Templar camp. I'll be back.
It flies off and kind of just soars on the clouds, or not the air above the drifting, whatever it's called. Okay. As you guys gather around her table, she makes everyone some tea, and it's good to see that everyone's all right and that we're not being approached by drums this time. My apologies. We had some news that my son was here, and luckily, we found him safe eventually. while you guys are sitting around the table, is there anything you wish to talk about? No? Okay.
I'm imagining, like, you ever seen Deathly Hallows?
Mm-hmm.
That scene where they're with what's his name, Luna's dad, and like they're all just kind of sipping tea quietly, like after like a long awkward pause, like.
Waiting for Luna. Everyone's
Kylan
just
will, among there not being much to speak about, is going to quickly step up from the table, say, not to be rude, but thank you for the tea. I have some things to get to.
Okay.
Where are you going?
I gotta find agates.
Agates?
Well, see, I know this spell, and I need agates to make it work. It'll make the bird smart, and it'll be easier to keep her under control then.
I'm pretty sure agates is a bannable word on Twitch.
What?
Sorry. I see. So, I'll let you take care of that. I mean, let you. You're a free woman. You can do what you want.
Thank you, Thaw. And kindly exit.
Okay. So, as you all kind of sit there awkwardly, drinking tea, Caroline, you exit, and you notice something kind of peculiar. You don't remember it being a very shady day, but something seems to be blocking the sun. And
Huh?
you kind of naturally just look into the sky. And not directly at the sun, of course, because that would be dumb. And you see a dark figure. Cylindrical, or round, circular in shape, thank you. Kind of coming down to a point, floating there, up above. The people around you start hearing voices. Hey, what's that? Pointing at it. When suddenly you see a being of fire, ice, air, and stone plummeting down to the ground with a massive rumbling and crashing. The ground erupts under the force of this being landing. A cry of stone against stone and fire and water breaking against the earth and the wind howling burst from this being's mouth as this amalgamation of elements appears before you.
We thought we were going to make a sale. Make a sale's coming to us.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Shit.
That's a turnpike.
That's a turnpike. Oh, fuck.
Alright, everybody. Thank you so much for playing. And as always, thank you all for watching. Stay classy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.